Live in all the places. How are you? If you are joining me live, comment live. Let me know that you're here live. Love to see you guys. Just takes a moment for Facebook to let me go. Um, Here we are. Okay, finally going live everywhere. Okay, so excited today to be sharing some of my shopping secrets as a personal stylist. So I do a lot of shopping for clients, and in a given week, my clients order, I don't know, like 500 items. So I get a lot of feedback on what works in online shopping and what doesn't work. And so I wanted to share. Hello, nice to see some friends on here. I wanted to share my secrets. Good morning. Let me know. Comment live if you're watching live. So I wanted to share some of the secrets that can make online shopping a little bit more foolproof and a little bit less frustrating, because I know it's super, super, super frustrating to buy online, get the wrong size, have to return, and go through that vicious cycle. It's just super, super frustrating. So I wanted to share kind of ways that I think you can minimize the frustration and tools and tactics that I use when I'm working with clients. So the first tip is to know your cues, know your questions. Like, what is your criteria that will determine whether you should consider looking a little bit deeper into an item and deciding whether to buy it. So I'm going to break all the stylist rule. Oh, thank you. Someone just liked my hair. Thank you, Linda. I'm going to break all the stylist rules here and say that I think love is important. Love is important. If you're a hot shopper like me, love is even more important. So it's not all just practical considerations when we're deciding what to buy. If something truly just makes your heart sing and makes your heart so happy, I feel like there should be a way to work that into your wardrobe. And sometimes it's worth just buying something because you love it so much. Let's face it, life is difficult enough without also saying, well, I can't buy any of the things that I think are cute. Like, who wants that? Who wants that in their life? So, do I love it should be the very, very first question you ask yourself. Again, not a practical question, but a question of, does this item bring me joy? The second is, follow-up question to that is, will this be the one that got away? Like, if I don't buy it, will I continue thinking about it? An example is a Valentino cocktail dress that I saw at a luxury consignment store on Newbury Street in Boston back in the 90s. That's the one that got away. I didn't buy it, and I kicked myself for it forever afterwards. I went back for it later. Of course it was gone. It was a great price. It was a Valentino black classic cocktail dress. Don't let the thing that you truly, truly, truly love get away. Will you think about this item if you put it, back, if you take it out of your cart? And often the way to do that is to give yourself a day or two and ask yourself, like, does your mind keep going back to it? Are you not able to get that item out of your head? Also, now we're going to move into the practical questions. You asked yourself, do I love it? And will this be the one that got away? But also, would I wear it tomorrow? Would I wear it tomorrow? Is this something that, oh my gosh, as soon as I get this, I'm going to start wearing it right away? Or is it going to be one of those things that's going to sit in your closet for a while you try to decide how and what to wear it with, where to wear it, what to do with it? So would you and could you wear this item tomorrow? That's a real, important practical question to ask yourself. Of course, there are other practical questions. Does it fit my current style, my current wardrobe? Is this a one-time occasion item, in which case I recommend spending less on it? Or is this an item I can wear multiple times? Is the quality worth the price? Does it fit well? Is this going to be an item that's likely to fit me well, or will I need to add alterations to the cost? Do I already own something similar? Do I have 9 long sleeve black tops already, and this is going to be number 10? Is this going to be a duplicate? And if it's a duplicate, is it the best in its category or not? Because if it's not the best in its category and it's a duplicate, then you're not going to reach for it. You're going to reach for the best ones, right? If you've got 12 white tops, you're going to reach for your favorites, and you'll never get to number 9, 10, 11, and 12, right? Good morning, everybody. Can this piece transition across seasons? Does the color suit you? Does the shape suit you? Is it comfortable and practical for your lifestyle? Can you wear it with at least 3 other items in your closet, and to at least 3 different places in your lifestyle. And then finally, how would I feel wearing this item? So those are the practical questions, but you really are not going to even get to the practical questions if you can't answer the first couple, which is, do I love this? And will it be the one that got away? Yay, good to see you guys. Okay, the next tip. So the first one was to know your questions. What are your criteria? What are your questions? You always want to ask about love, like whether you love something, whether you'll wear something, and whether it loves you back, right? Those are the 3 things that you're going to ask yourself. Now, second is your home is your new dressing room. When you're shopping online, you have to view your bedroom, your closet as your new dressing room. And you have to use some of the same principles that apply to a dressing room in your closet. So what does that mean? Besides checking return policies and guidelines, which you want to do right away, you want to be able to take the items that you're trying on for a test drive at home. So you're ordering items from your favorite online store, and you've established that you can return them. You want to wear them around the house, not wear them, but, try them on around the house for more than 3 minutes. So you can decide, is it comfortable? Does it bunch up? Am I constantly adjusting it? Does it fit me well? Like all of the things that you would do if you were in a dressing room. Lean over. Does it require special underwear? Like just move around in the item and determine whether it's the right fit for you. Consider stores where you can buy online and return in store if that makes it easier for you. If it's easier for you to return in store, lots of retailers, including like TJ Maxx, believe it or not, and any mall stores that you have, many times you can buy in the online and return in the store. Here's the clincher: order multiple sizes, especially in things like jeans, pants, bathing suits. If you were in the dressing room, if you were going to try on those jeans at the store and you would take in multiple sizes of the jeans, you want to take in multiple sizes of the jeans into your virtual dressing room, which is your home. So often we won't know, even if you're like, oh, I'm a pretty regular size, in denim. How do you know if the size up or the size down might not fit you a tiny bit better? And you might settle for something where the fit is slightly off when it's as easy as ordering 2 sizes of the same item and giving yourself that grace to determine what fit is best for you. What item fits you best? You won't know if you don't have those 2 sizes. So definitely order multiple sizes in anything that you're at all on the fence about, or anything that you try multiple sizes on in the store. You want to look at the measurements of the models and compare the measurements of the model to the measurements of yourself. Now, this can be a humbling experience. Every time I look at the measurements of the model, I'm like, model is 5'10", and I'm like, well, that's 8 inches taller than I am, so I'm going to subtract 8 inches from the length of that item, and it's going to look very different on me at 5'2" than it looks at the model at 5'10". So you want to use that as a reference for length. Fortunately, many sites are now showing models in a wide range of sizes. So they're showing models that are tall, models that are mid-size, models that all models have been tall, but models that are petite, models that are mid-size, models that are plus size. So if possible, get a look at that item on a model that matches your size category. Okay, examine the product photos closely. If they've got the runway shot where the model is walking in the item, if they've got the sales assistant like they often do at Nordstrom holding up the item and showing you, you can see the fabric quality, the way the fabric hangs and moves better in those clips, in those videos, than you can in static pictures. Look at every single picture and look at the item in every single color. The clothing is going to look dramatically different from color to color. Look at all the colors of the clothes. You're going to see so much more detail, and sometimes you can look at a dress in 5 different colors and it's going to look like 5 different dresses. So really look for those close-up images of the fabric, the stitching, how the garment fits the model from different angles. This will help you get a sense of how the item is cut and how it moves. You also want to make sure when you're looking at those close-up pictures of the product that the pattern lines up at the seams properly. That's a sign of good quality. And if the pattern lines up well at the side, then you'll have a little bit more confidence that the rest of the item is good quality. Pattern does not line up at the side, the rest of the item might also be poorly made. Also pay attention to the descriptive words that they use. If I were an English teacher, I would tell you to highlight these words. They use descriptive words that describe the fit. So words like relaxed, oversized, fitted, snug, shrunken. These are words that are going to give you an idea of how the item is designed to fit, and you can kind of make a decision based on some of those descriptive words. Okay, so the first, was to know your cues. The second was to consider your home, your virtual dressing room. The third is to do your research. So what does this look like? First of all, you want to check out the pictures of users and their reviews. You want to see real women in these clothes if possible. That's not always an option. But now with the rise of influencers and the rise of review sites and the reviews that many brands put at the bottom of their websites, you can see these clothes on real women. You can get an idea of what they really thought of the product, of the fabric, of the item, of the fit, of the quality, all of those things. So spend that a little bit of extra time and do your research. It can save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle later making returns if you find out that, everybody ordered their true to size 12 and it really fits like an 8. That information might be in the reviews and you just haven't looked at it. Another thing to look at is, a lot of brands are offering these little scales where they're showing how true to size an item is. So you want to look at that. Does the item run true to size? Does it run big? Does it run small? I say this all the time, but it bears repeating. Some of you are new. Consider the measurements of the item compared to the measurements of your existing clothes. So you have a dress that fits you well, take every conceivable measurement of that dress. The length of the dress, the sleeve length, the width of the dress, like every measurement that you can take, and then compare the measurements of the item that you have to the measurements of the item from the store. If the store does not list its measurements, I'm just going to call them out right now. You need to list your measurement, stores. But if they didn't list their measurements, you can reach out to the little chat bot in the corner or send them an email and they will get back to you with measurements. I do this all the time for my clients. But you want a measurement of that item in your size because you want to know if it fits you before you buy it. So this is part of doing your research. Comparing those measurements against the measurements of your favorite clothes can give you an idea and like a ballpark. Even things like bags. The bag that you carry most of the time, what are the dimensions of that bag? Look for a bag that has similar dimensions if you love that size. Know your measurements. You want to take accurate measurements of your body, and you want those measurements to live on your phone. You want a size chart on your phone where you keep your own measurements and try to detach yourself from those measurements and really look at it as just part of the research and part of the shopping online process. It's not a judgment thing, but you want to know what's going to fit you and what's not going to fit you. You also want to add to that size chart your current sizes in your go-to brands. Like what size do you typically wear in J.Crew or Loft or Talbot's or wherever you shop? You want to keep all of your sizes in those brands on your size chart. Okay. Opt for brands with virtual fit tools. Now, I love the virtual eyeglass try-ons that a lot of websites have. Those are amazing. You can try on different eyeglass silhouettes online, which is incredible. But a lot of brands are offering like virtual, like 3D technology. And you can really see what is going to fit you and what's not going to fit you. So they're really trying to minimize the returns because let's face it, even though returns are a pain and expensive for us, they're even more of a pain and expensive for the retailers. So a lot of these brands do have virtual try-on tools, and those can be super, super useful. Thank you so much for the sweet comment. Okay, look at fabric descriptions is the next thing. Looking at fabric descriptions will let you know whether the item has any give. Like if it's slightly stretchy, it's going to fit you differently than if the item is very structured and has a very rigid fit. So you want to ask yourself, like, is there any flexibility in sizing in this item? Does it have a little bit of stretch to it? Will it have a little bit of give? If it doesn't, then you're going to want to take that into consideration and consider sizing up. Okay. Check the length measurements. I talked about that. You want to know how long things are, especially if you're petite or tall. Actually, yeah, on either side. But you want to know, is it going to be too short? Is it going to be too long? Check the length measurements. You want to know what your inseam is. You want to know the total length for dresses for you. You want to know the total length for tops for you. You want to ensure that the item is going to hit at the right spot, especially if you're taller or shorter than average. You want to narrow down your choices using filters. So use filters for the size, the style, the material, the fit. If you do not use filters, you're going to have 9 million things to choose from. And by the time you get to page 74, you're going to be spent. You're just going to be adding random items to your cart. Just add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. Like, really use the filters and narrow it down as much as you can. You can always expand your search later. Look for size guides that are specific to each item. Don't just look at the general size guide for the whole brand. I see this all the time. What is the size chart for this specific item? Not just for Bowden, not just for Banana Republic. Some brands offer specific size guides for individual items, which might differ slightly from the general size chart. If they do not have a size chart for that specific item, again, consider asking them. Shame on them if they don't put that there. That's super annoying. Finally, sign up for emails and sales alerts from your favorite retailers. You will save a lot of money that way. You'll save a lot of money that way. You'll also find out if an item that you're looking at restocks. You'll find out if something goes on sale. Like, just absolutely sign up for those alerts. Okay. The next tip is to know the brand. So you want a roster. You want a roster of your brands. And I'd like you to list your brands in the comments below. Comments below this video, whether you're watching this live or in replay. I want to know, what are your go-to brands? You want to know what your go-to brands are. And you want to ideally make a trip to a store to that brand's store. So if it's J. Crew, or if it's a brand that's sold at Nordstrom or whatever, you want to ideally every year try on a handful of items from that brand to make sure that their sizing hasn't changed and that the size information that you have for that brand is still accurate. Because having some go-to brands really takes the guesswork and the frustration out of shopping online. If I know that I can always wear a size X at J. Crew, I know that if I'm in a pinch and I need to buy something, I can go to J. Crew and buy that thing. That doesn't mean that the brand becomes your only source of style, because I want your style to represent you and not to represent a brand's vision. It should represent your vision, not a brand's vision. That's the reason I always encourage you to have a roster, have a handful, 3, 4, 5 go-to brands that you can shop for, so that, again, your style represents you. You can go to that store or those stores and really assemble a wardrobe that represents your personal style, right? If you're buying everything from Loft, you're going to look like a Loft ad in a way, right? So, but you want that collection of stores that are your go-tos. You want a list of successful purchases. Like, what are the best jeans that you've ever bought? What are the best black pants that you've ever bought? What's your favorite shirt right now? What's your favorite dress right now? Keep a list of successful buys, and you want to track the size and style details of those brands. So past online purchases that fit you well, what are the size and style details? Keep a record of these, can serve as a quick reference so that you can order more like them in the future. Love these lists of brands that are coming in. This is awesome, of stores you want to know, what is your roster? What is your store roster? Let me know in the comments. I already talked about checking the length measurements, but next I want you to watch try-on videos or hauls from influencers or from people on Instagram or TikTok or Like to Know It. Watch how those clothes fit real women. And if you can find someone, I know that I don't represent everybody. I'm petite and small, but if you can find someone who represents your size category, who is trying on the clothes, you're going to get a lot of feedback and a lot more information about the clothing. Okay, so I'm going to recap those 4 tips that I started with. We talked about knowing your cues. We talked about considering your home, your virtual dressing room. We talked about doing your research. And then we talked about knowing your brand or brands. Now, the final tip I want to share is to consider trying before you buy. Now, how do you do that? There are a couple of different tools that will allow you to try before you buy. And one of them is something that I'm so super excited to be working on. So the first is Amazon has a try before you buy program. So basically you can choose up to 6 items. You keep them for a week. You check out online on Amazon, and they don't charge you for the items that you're not keeping. You return the items you're not keeping. You pay only for the items that you keep. This is only available to Amazon Prime members, but it's called Prime Try Before You Buy. Used to be called Prime Wardrobe. They have changed the name. So this is a tool that really lets you, like my clients have done this with bathing suits, with black pants, with jeans. You can try on 6 items in your home for a week, pick the best one or ones, and return the rest with no risk to you. So that's a great option. Another thing that I would always encourage, or a tool that I would encourage you to try is, any site like Nordstrom that has free shipping, free returns. You can essentially do the same thing as the Amazon try before you buy, except that you are paying for the items up front. But look for free shipping, free returns from brands and stores. Nordstrom really has obviously a wide range of brands, so you can try on a variety of different brands at Nordstrom. Do you know that you can try on brands like Boden and Vivaya at Nordstrom? So it's worth trying some of those brands that you've been interested in checking out, but you don't know the fit of. I think Goelia, which is one of the brands I work with, is also now available on Amazon. So it's an opportunity to try on some of these brands that you may have been eyeing and you just haven't wanted to take the plunge and try them on. Okay, the next thing though that I would encourage you to consider is to consider a fashion rental service. I have linked my brand new, I'm going to put it here in the comments, my brand new fashion rental program that I just set up. It goes live today, and it's called confidenceinaCloset.com. So it's a new style rental service. And how this works is that for 5 days, you get six items, 3 boxes, up to 6 items in a month. You get the first month free. And what's really cool about these rental services is that you can try on brands before you commit to them. So this is how it works. You get the first 30 days free, and you can cancel at any time, but you basically get to try on items from a variety of brands in your own home. You can wear them for as long as you want. You can return them when you're done with them. And this gives you access to trying on a lot of different brands to decide what you like, what fits, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So it's just a cool way to try on a bunch of different brands, especially if you've gone through a size transition, especially if you haven't been shopping in a while. What's really cool is, like I said, you can return the items and get new ones. And like, especially with holiday season coming up, I have always rented like one-off items I'm going to wear to theme parties, or items I'm going to wear to special occasions where I'm never going to want to reach for them again. I love that idea. It's much more sustainable. It's much more affordable, and my closet stays much less cluttered. But what's cool is that if you fall in love with a brand or you fall in love with an item, you can buy it at a reduced cost. So it's super, super affordable. confidenceinaCloset.com. I would encourage you to check it out. It works similar to Rent the Runway and Nuuly and some of the other rental services that you might have seen, but it's way more affordable than most of those. And it features a wide selection of clothes, from casual to dressier clothes. So I love Rent the Runway. I've always loved Rent the Runway, but many of their clothes are quite dressy. So a rental service like this, which really, like I said, is month to month, so it's really no commitment, allows you to try on some new brands in the comfort of your own home. So there are a lot of ways to try before you buy. I would definitely recommend checking out Confidence in a Closet if you are interested in trying on a bunch of new stuff and making it risk-free and fun. Love you guys. I hope that you found this helpful. Those are my 5 secrets to shopping like a stylist. Like I said, I do this all the time. In the last week alone, I've had 500 items of clothing ordered by, it's like 478 items of clothing ordered by my clients. So I do a lot of online shopping and a lot of online ordering. And this is just something that I've had to come up with this framework and these strategies to make it easier on myself and on my clients. So love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a like and comment below. Again, I want to hear your brand roster. I want to hear your questions about online shopping. We'll continue this conversation this week. I will see you in the next video. Bye.